Hey, so I had a question on my Incline Treadmill calculator on my 7summonsbody.blogspot, and let me take you there. And okay, I did 743 feet on 6 incline, 60 minutes on speed 2.5. So how do I do the calculation? My first thought is that it looks kind of like you already did, and that's great. Um, Or is this reading out from your treadmill and you want to know more about it? Well, let's give it a shot and see. Come up here to the calculator and let's make this just a little bit bigger so we can see it better. And I've already typed in some numbers here because this is my second take. Apparently, I did not get audio on my first take. So at 6%, 60 minutes, and I'm assuming that that's what you meant by 6. Total miles, 2.5. You're going 2.5 miles an hour, you said. Click to add, and we've got 792 feet, which is a slightly more accurate representation of what we've got here, based on the map. Now, if you really want this to say 743, I already did this once, and I think it's, what was it, 346? There we go, 743 feet. And so your treadmill is off by a couple percent. It's not big. It's not a big deal. I mean, if this is what you actually did was 2.5, and you actually got 792, that's great. But we already discussed the reasons for discrepancy in previous articles and posts, including this one, actually. So let me go down here and look at this other description where it's basically a thing of sines and arctangents and things. And I've actually looked at this math before in regards to engineering math for gradient road beds, which is where you use this in the real world, and pipes and things like that. So at a 5% incline, which is dang close to 6, for 1 mile, the correct formula gives you a 0.0499, and the incorrect, mine, gives you 0.05. And that's because I am looking at a straight line direction, and the actual math should be looking at the incline direction. And I'll draw some pictures later, not in this video. But if we look at the difference between 0.0499 and 0.05, we're looking at 0.0001 difference, which is whatever. And that's actually less than what we got from this. Now, at 40% incline, it makes much more difference, 3.371 as opposed to 0.40. So it's a 0.029 difference, 0.029 miles, which is going to be about 150 feet, 140 feet difference. And that adds up over time. I mean, if you're doing a 100-mile trail and every mile you're 100 feet off, you're going to feel it after, even after 52 miles, you can have 1 mile difference. So the bottom line really is that why there would be a discrepancy is that the treadmill sensor that detects how long, how far you go between each belt rotation is based on the length of the belt, which varies a little bit depending on how much you weigh, and the types of bed, what the bed surface is made of underneath the treadmill belt, and what how the difference between the roller spacing and things like that, and as well as the speed. And if you look I'll put a link up to it later, but if you look on the Stride website, they have a really good description of why this is and why their foot cod is superior as far as measuring the actual distance. And we will look into that one later. But right now, I just wanted to answer your question. How do we do the calculation? And I showed you. And I hope that answered your question and that we're all good to go. And hopefully this video does the job for you. Let's leave the screen sharing. And here I am back. And go ahead and ask me questions. I love to answer as many as I can within reason. And we'll talk to you later.